Yes, Lord. Hey, you listen to Oz on Smash Bros Radio, the only digital radio station located in Birmingham, Jefferson County. Hey, if you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe to Smash Bros Radio. You can find us on TikTok, you can find us on Instagram, as well as YouTube, and also Facebook. So please like, follow, and share. Hey, this is Oz, your Dutch uncle. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We would appreciate it. Smash Bros Radio is an independent digital radio station located in Alabama, and it is formulated, and also we support independent artists. So if you are an independent artist and you would like to talk to someone, please give us a call. Contact Ralph Mobley, who is one of the founding fathers, and see exactly what the station can do for you, because we're here for the independent artists. We're here to showcase and do what we can for you, and we appreciate it. Hey, it's Monday. Hope your fathers were acknowledged to the degree that you're supposed to be acknowledged. We're going to talk about something that may cause a lot of folks to become upset and angry, but I think it's long past time to say what we have to say, and we'll get into that later. But I have some announcements to make. Ursula Smith's company. Parents, get ready for a spectacular dance camp with Ursula Smith Dance, Gracie's Corner edition. Your little ones ages 3 through 5 will have a blast dancing to the biggest hits of Gracie's Corner while enjoying delicious food and nonstop fun. Hurry and register now, as spaces are very limited. It's July 19th from 10 to 1. Registration is $50. The camp is $125. You can register at www.ursula, URSULA, UrsulaSmithDance.com. www.ursulasmithdance.com. You can call 205-202-9510, 205-202-9510. Please check them out. Please check them out. Please check them out. Please check them out. Also, June 23rd through the 25th, Ursula Smith's The Brown Sugar Nutcracker is having auditions. June 23rd, 2023. Boys ages 10 through 16, 6 to 7.
June 23rd to 24th, I'm looking for dancers ages 6 and up. Register today at brownsugarnutcracker.com. Hey, Birmingham, this is Ursula Smith, and I am inviting you guys out to our annual Brown Sugar Nutcracker auditions. June 23rd and 24th, I am looking for dancers ages 6 and up. Register today at brownsugarnutcracker.com. Hey, Birmingham, this is Ursula Smith, and I am inviting you guys out to our annual Brown Sugar Nutcracker auditions. June 23rd and 24th, I am looking for dancers ages 6 and up. Register today at brownsugarnutcracker.com.
Listen, if you have not already visited, or if you have not seen the production of the Brown Sugar Nutcracker, you are missing out on a lot. Its audition fee is $35. You can contact them at www.brownsugarnutcracker.com. So please check them out. What is it? June 23rd. Boys ages 10 to 16 is 6 to 7 p.m. Ages 13 to adults are 7 to 8:30 p.m. And then on the 24th, you have ages 6 to 8, 10 to 11, ages 9 to 12, 11 to 12:30, and then you have the adults. So please, 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 please support. Please, please, please support. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. Also, don't let a hectic schedule hold your child back from the joy of dance. Our new dance season starts August 7th, and we're thrilled to offer flexible class packs to meet unique needs, whether your young dancer needs to attend class once a week or 5 times a week. We got you covered. Sign up for a season of fun, growth, and unforgettable memories. Offering $30 classes, Enrolling classes offer ballet, jazz, tap, West African, and more. You can call today at 205 202 9510. So please check her out. Listen, this is a way of getting your child a little bit more active. You know what I'm saying? It's a way of allowing them uh, to learn about themselves. And so I think that Ursula is a fantastic choreographer, and I think that your kids would highly enjoy um, going to the dance. And then plus two, I'm somewhat prejudiced because uh, she's one of the few minority dance troupes that we have here in Birmingham, and I think that I'm not. Listen, I'm not preaching segregation. I'm not preaching that at all. I'm just saying that sometimes it takes somebody who knows. And so please check her out. Also, her husband, Things to Know on the Road, Monday, July 10th. Free entry is at 6:30. Location is Art Town, 7611 First Avenue North, Birmingham, Alabama. Sign up for the drum play along following the informative session. So please come out and support David. We appreciate it. Also, we have a the Rockwall, the pit bulls get a very bad rep, and it is really bad that they get the rep because they don't deserve it. So this is a chance for individuals to come out and to find out exactly what the bully breed is all about. You have the Southern Bully Showdown coming up November 11th, Bessemer Civic Center, 1130 9th Avenue Southwest, Birmingham. You have exotics, you have American bullies, you have the Frenchies, you have the Cane Corsos, you have the English Bulldog, as well as other breeds. It's hosted by NJC Bullies, as well as 1888 Bully Kennel. On site ICBR registration, $20 per show entry. Sanction and fun shows, over 50 categories. You can call DeWan Hall at 205 460 6435 or Israel Career 205 238 0401. This is a chance. I didn't even know that the bully breed, that the pit bulls was under the bully breed. And so there's a lot of misconception. And with you coming out to these shows, you have an understanding of exactly the characteristics and the attitude, as well as the temperament of the bullies. I didn't know that the Frenchie, as well as the Cane Corso, was underneath the bully breed. So please come out and support. That's November 11th at 2023, Bessemer Civic Center, 1130 9th Avenue Southwest in Bessemer. Come out and just learn. Also, you can bring your dogs, but please make sure that your dogs are not aggressive in nature. They have to be leased, as well as the females cannot be in heat. And that's already self-explanatory why it can't be in heat. So please do. And also that counts for some of your children too. Do not bring some of your children that you haven't raised properly, because we don't need any wild children out there not doing what they're supposed to. Listen, if you are into water, 1186 artesian water is fantastic. It is produced here in the Toggerville, right down the street, about 45 minutes from Birmingham. It is minority owned. 1186 water. You can't get any better. Check it out, 1186 water. Also, if you are into coffee, check out Alicia's, ALICIA, Alicia's Coffee LLC. She's located in Vincent, Alabama. I'm telling you, her coffee is fantastic. If you are into bread, check out the Black Bread Company. They are fantastic. They are now have a contract where they are in certain stores. but check out their website too. And also, if you have any type of occasions coming up that you don't know exactly, you want to do something that's different, check out Berries by Crystal. Berries by Crystal. Uh, Crystal, contact Crystal and see exactly what she can come up with. Give her a price, and if she can meet that price, she will. But she is flexible. Uh, but all these companies are fantastic. All these companies are minority owned. So you have Alicia's Coffee, Alicia, Alicia's Coffee LLC. You have Crystal's Berries by Crystal. You have Ortiz 1186 Water. What else? There was one other one that I've totally forgotten about. Black Bread, Alicia's Coffee, Artesian 1186. I think that's it. My mind went blank. But yesterday we celebrated Father's Day, and we have a history. We have a history, and rightfully so, of celebrating our mamas. And we understand the strong connection that mamas have with their children. Likewise, some of us were blessed to have daddies that were as active, if not more so, in our lives. And it's just time for us to stop all this negativity. It's just time. It's past time. For whatever reason, we have the tendency of always bashing the daddies, the fathers, without really accepting the blame for ourselves, because there were two people that were actually involved in the creation of that beautiful child. And so for one partner, one entity to be blamed for the entire, it needs to stop. It just needs to stop. Like I used to tell my former students, my boys could be as much whores as what my girls were, if not more so, because we have this stereotype that if you are male, you're supposed to be able to put notches in your belts and all that, and that is not correct to state that. So I'm not taking anything away from mamas, because all of us understand the importance and the love that we have for our mamas. When it comes to the men, it's time for us to take a reevaluation on what we are doing. For you to call out one individual and understand that you have deadbeat dads as well as you have deadbeat moms. You have the equivalency between the two. You also have single fathers that we don't acknowledge as readily as we do as single moms. And those single dads are going through as much as what the single moms are. Of course, being the gender, there may be some type of differences between when you have a small human that you're taking care of. There is straight across the board. And we have to keep in mind that as parents, as guardians, we set the standard. We set exactly how successful our little human is going to be. So all this bashing, it has to stop. It serves no purpose. I think that one thing that should be changed in the system is that when before the child is born or after the child is born, that a DNA test should be performed on that baby, that little human, to find out exactly if the individual that is being singled out is a father, is actually the father. Because it is an emotional roller coaster when you find out that you are the father of a child, and then 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years later, you find out that that little human is not yours. But see, you have already established an emotional attachment to that little human, and it is devastating. I would like to think, and I would hope that there was no maliciousness or malice involved when the mother said that a certain individual was a father. In most cases, uh, the guys have already stated that they do not want any children. And yet you have these girls that go out and, for whatever reason, wants to have a child with this man, and they sabotage, and they have a child in hopes that that child is going to bring them closer, when all in actuality, it was just a piece of ass that the guy wanted. So, for one individual to be selected, chosen to be bashed, that is incorrect. And I think that it has to stop, especially when it deals with the father. Uh, we plus two, we have to be honest with ourselves too. You knew the reputation. Both of you knew each other or knew of each other, and you knew their reputation. You knew the crowd that they followed. You knew, or you had an idea of exactly what type of person that individual was. And yes, there's this. I don't know what it is about this bad boy syndrome, but it seems like the girls like these bad boys, and in most cases, the guys are not really quote unquote bad. It's just that's their persona. I had a former student that I call my country kid, or my woods boy, and he had a bad reputation. And it was yes, he was free with some of his stuff, but this individual was smart as hell, very smart. So we have this certain notion, this certain connotation, that when it comes to these individuals being bad, that it's not true. My dad was a bad boy, uh, and because of him having that reputation in junior high school, uh, that's one thing that attracted Mama to him, which I don't understand. But anyway, it is what it is. And so, because of that attraction to the bad boy, uh, I was born. So there has to be some type of re-examining of things. There has to be some type of modifications. There has to be some type. Now, understand, we cannot expect this generation, like our generation, to not to want to have sex. That's just plain. That is just that that just does not hold water, nor does it have any substance. Humans are going to be humans. We need that touch. We need that sense of want. And I think that sometimes, in some cases, that because of the girls being so sheltered, and because of this bad boy showing attention, uh, that she is swayed. And then again, too, if you know that, if you see this individual out in the clubs and you're watching and observing, you already know what type of individual this person is. And then what really gets me is that you're doing all this bashing, but you weren't doing any bashing when he was all up in your guts. You weren't doing all this bashing when he didn't have another girlfriend. And I tell both my boys and my girls that you need to be cautious. You need to be careful. It's just not if you're going to have sex, I just have some type of protection sex, or just it's two parties. So if he says that, well, it doesn't feel natural to wear a condom, he's lying. And then if he says that his pull-out game is good, don't believe that. And at the same time, as parents, we have to take the responsibility. And I don't care what religion, I don't care how religious you are. If you feel that your child is not going to have sex, well, you're not putting the human factor into the equation. And understand, you cannot watch your child 24/7. It just cannot be done unless you're hovering, and then if you're doing that hovering over them, you are basically shackling them, and they're going to rebel. You've heard of the prodigal son. I think that sex education should be in the schools. If you do not wish for your child to have sex education, they should be opted out. But at the same time, it's your responsibility to make sure that your child is knowledgeable and is aware of exactly all information out there. Because if you have informed your child, if you have educated your child in all aspects, then there's a larger chance that your child is not going to get pregnant or have somebody get pregnant by them. And nowadays, it used to be that boys are hard to raise. It's hard to raise both boys and girls. The bashing has to stop. It has to stop. We are forgetting the little humans because they are more observant, and they're watching and they're listening. And whether or not we wish to face the fact or not, there's a possibility that our moms were whores when they were in high school. You would never think that now, because we have this certain image. We don't think about our moms being whores, and we don't think about our parents having sex. That's the most disgusting thought in the world. And some of us have been raised by individuals that are angry and have not told the entire truth. And understand that when it comes to a story, there's both sides of a story, and then you have the middle. And in some cases, your dad didn't even know that you were here because he was never informed. And by luck or by accident or mishap, whatever words you wish to utilize, he finds out that he has this child that is now a grown adult. So he's been raped of his chance of having a relationship with you. I tell my boys, and I'm fanatic, and I'm bold. I have no tact. I've been straight and honest with both my boys and my girls. I tell my boys that it doesn't matter if there's an agreement between the two of you. You need something in black and white. You need something written down. Because there may come a time that when you find somebody else to add to your life, that individual that has your child is going to become petty, is going to become messy, is going to become haughty, angry, jealous, and they're going to have the full force of a spawn lover against you. That's why you document everything. And plus, two, if you are not, listen, if she was not a virgin when you had sex with her, you don't know whose child she is. Let me say that once again. If she was not a virgin when you had sex with her, you don't know whose child it is. And the other two, one of you have to be responsible enough to say, I want a DNA test. And that has nothing to do with trust. Has nothing to do with trust. Because this is a human contract between you and that little human. And if the little human is yours, well, then you need to step up to the plate. You need to put yourself on child support. And I know that, and that has to be revamped too. And you need to make sure that you have visitation hours written down. So that way everyone is protected. I think that before that little human leaves that hospital, that little human should have documentation on who the father is. There should be no question. And two, if you are a responsible mama, a future mama, you would want to have a DNA just for general purposes. Just for general purposes. That is a responsible way. That is a responsible adult. I know that you are the father, but I don't want there to ever have any doubt. So I want to have a DNA to show you now, before we leave the hospital, that you are the father. Because you'd be surprised at how some of these relatives are. Because they could be jealous of the girl. They can be jealous of your relationship. They could even be jealous of your child. So you want protection. You want to cover your ass every time. And you need to put yourself on child support. And anytime you go beyond that child support, you need to make sure that you have documentation and you keep the receipts. Put them in a cigar box. Put them someplace. Put them in your underwear drawer. But I would hope and I would like to think that everybody is going to do what is right and what is correct for the little human. But unfortunately, that is not always the case. But this bashing, and I hate when people say my baby's mama. That is the mother of your child. That is the father of your child. And no matter what those individuals do, you should never, ever talk in front of that child, bashing that child's mother or father. You should never do that. You should never do that. And unfortunately, it goes on far more than what we want. And that and if you hear someone in your family doing that, you need to put a stop. See, that's where boundaries come in. You need to put a stop to that. Now you can have your own opinion, but don't force your opinion around my child. And if they get upset about it, well, then you stop allowing your child to be around that individual, whether it's a grandparent, an aunt, or whatever. It's time for us to be mature adults. It is time for us to look at the little people and how we are raising the little people, the little humans. But the system needs to be changed. I think that some of the judges that have been on the bench in the family court should do a revamping when it comes to education, because sometimes the best interest of the child is not always the mother. Sometimes the father has a more secure, safe environment than the mother. And if a girl does get pregnant, she should have in mind that there is a huge possibility that I'm going to have to take care of this child by myself. We don't live in a Cosby family. We don't live in a Leave It to Beaver family. Those days are gone. And did we ever really actually have that type of family where everything is always even keel, and you have this little mishap and that I don't know. I don't know. I know from watching my boys that a lot of them are hurt because of what the mother is doing to their child, doing to them, because they use their child as a pawn. And because of my boys, being men, their feelings being hurt, they're going to say things they don't mean. They're hurt. Let me tell you, I started teaching in '88. I was teaching over at Lincoln Middle. I was in the Birmingham system, an urban school system. I don't know if it would be classified as inner city, but Lincoln was right next to the historical Parker High School. And see, I taught the authentic, the original thugs. And understand, I can call my boys thugs because there's no maliciousness, no hatred, or misunderstanding. I have an abundance of respect and love for my boys as well as my girls. So, see, I watched and see during that time, I taught the authentic Crips, Bloods, and was it Crips, Bloods, and Disciples, and I think Viceroys. I saw the environment, the neighborhoods in which my kids came from. I visited those neighborhoods. I visited those environments. I didn't even know I wasn't supposed to, because there was some places, some some projects, brickyards that black folks wouldn't even visit. But I had to understand what my kids were going through. So I watched these thugs, these gang members, these fraternity brothers. I watched them grow. And when that little human was born, my boys who did not have an example of what a daddy was all about, they didn't even know what a daddy was. I watched my boys become this daddy, this exemplary daddy. I watched my hardcore boys become these soft teddy bears. And I saw the love that my boys had for these little humans. A little child, a baby will change your life forever. And in most cases will change it for the better. And some of these children saved my boys because they were going down the wrong road, because they didn't know any better. They were not given the options or choices. But those babies changed my boys. Those babies gave my boys life. Those babies saved my boys. And you cannot get any better when it comes to be a daddy. You should see these hardcore individuals becoming these little teddy bears. There was one who was the head guy of the Crips, and he didn't take no mess. He didn't take. You could look at him wrong, and he would knock the hell out of you. But when I saw him with his daughter, I didn't see this hard, encased, angry, wanting to fight the world little boy. I saw this caring, this sheltering, this nurturing, this soft daddy. And he said that, she changed me. She saved me. But don't get it twisted, because I said, I know, man. Don't get it twisted, because they still have that dog in them. They still have that thug in them. But that baby, those little people, those little humans, those changes your life forever. And then you're doing what you're supposed to. You're going on everyone's word, and everyone's going to keep their word. And then all of a sudden, you bring another entity, another female into the equation. Now, there's nothing going on, and it has been understood that there's nothing can go on between us. What we had, we had. We did what we did. So it was already an understanding that they're never going to get back together, but you bring this other female into the equation, and that once individual that was compromising no longer becomes compromising. And to a point, I can understand that there's this thing that, well, I don't want this woman raising my child. If that woman is a woman like she's supposed to be, she will understand that she cannot take your place as your mother, because she's not going in to take your place. And that's one thing I had to talk to my boys about too. When you bring another female, you need to let that female know that I have a child or I have children. And if you cannot respect my children, then all we can do is fuck around. So see, there is so much additions when it comes to this relationship, when it comes to these babies. And then if that child is way past 10 years old and you're still bashing, but then there's something wrong with you. All the bad, initially understand that you're angry. Understand that, and you have that right. And there's nothing wrong with being angry and upset. Because maybe he lied. It goes back to, you knew what type of guy he was. In most cases, you knew that he had several mothers of his children. Now, why would you want to have sex with somebody who already has 3 or 4 children? Do you think that he's going? And then plus 2, did you take in consideration, was he a father to his children? Because if he didn't take care of the ones that he had then, he's not going to take care of yours. So there has to be some type of something to, I don't know, but I think that it's time for this bashing to stop. It serves no purpose. It serves no purpose. But again, I think that all responsible individuals in the relationship should step up to the plate and do what is correct and what is right. There, like I stated before, there are deadbeats mothers. We don't bash them. Just because she's a mother doesn't give her any special privileges, especially when she's not taking care of her children, and especially if the father of the children or the child is taking care or has the responsibility. See, that's why everything should be up and above board. There should be documentation. And I think that you should take the step and to put yourself on child support, so that way there won't be any type of misunderstanding. Also, there should be some set of guidelines and regulations that you have this child as such and such. And then if by chance another entity, another body is added to the equation, co-parenting should play a factor. Because there are some stepdads and there are some stepmoms that have stepped up to the plate and have become more involved than the actual parent. Human nature is crazy. Human nature is crazy. And yes, we have a right to go ballistic sometimes. Yet we do. We're human. At the same time, we should know when to cease and to stop. And sometimes we need to know when we might need therapy for whatever reason. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy because it's not all about you. It's not about the parents. It's about that baby. It's about that little person, that little human. And if the village should take care of that baby, you don't have to like the daddy, you don't have to like the mama, but at the same time, you have to respect them. And some of us go through hard times. We need to take a step back. We need to re examine ourselves. We need to re examine how, when, what is to the advantage, what is best for this child, what is best for this baby. But I think that it would save a lot of time and energy and a lot of hurt feelings that once that baby is born, a DNA test is done. So that way everyone would know exactly who the father of the baby is. And if they're not married, that automatically that father is placed on child support. And if the father does not take care of their responsibility, and in some cases, if the mother doesn't take care of her responsibility, well, then I think there should be consequences. And I don't know what the consequences can be. I really don't. Because they say that you can't get blood from a turnip, but you can sure give that turnip hell. And do you incarcerate them? And if they, people say the way if you incarcerate me, I'm still not going to be, still not going to pay. Well, that's all right. You're still not going to be doing a lot of things you can be doing now. There should be a re-examining. What are we doing? Why? And then two, what is the source? What is the reason that we're doing all this bashing? And what is the purpose? What is the reason? And does it serve a purpose? You heard that thing, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Some folks don't give a happy goddamn. Talk about me. As long as you don't put your hands on me. Okay, cool. I'm not going to put my hands on you, but I'm going to let the legal system put their hands on you. And that's straight across the board. That's for both deadbeat moms and dads. If you find that your spouse, or not your spouse, if you find that the father or the mother of your child has found someone who loves your child as much as you do and is there for your child, well, then you should have a relationship with that individual because that individual is helping you out as well as your child. Because if that other individual is mindful, they know that they can never take the place of a mom and a dad. But it's nothing wrong with having a surrogate. There's nothing wrong. And there should be some understanding about where the discipline. All that plays a factor. I cannot imagine what the parents are going through now. I can't imagine. And in some cases, I don't even want to imagine because the pressure, the stress, the anger, I cannot imagine. And then all of a sudden you find yourself with child and you have this uncertainty of how am I going to do this? Because sometimes individuals don't have that support that is required, that is needed. There's a whole area that needs to be re-examined or created to make sure that these babies are taken care of. There needs to be some type of course, some type of something in which individuals can be removed from social services. Give some type of course. Make sure that, and plus, since there's always a need for workers and all, set up a class in which these individuals are getting education to go into whatever field with an understanding that child care is going to be handled. So that way the parents won't have to worry about, well, how am I going to who's going to take care of my child? And then once that individual has graduated from that program, that they are promised a job. Most folks do not wish to be on social services. They don't want to be on welfare. Believe it or not, they don't. It's the circumstances. It's a vicious cycle in which they're part of, and they don't know how to get out of it. And that could be one reason why there's a lot of bashing going on. But once you have that child, you're no longer a child yourself. You become an adult. And what you were doing before that child, you can no longer do. It's hard to be a parent. And even if you have both parents in the family, it's hard. But I think that there's something should be done. There should be some type of re-examination, remodification, some type of change. But I think that those individuals who have these children should be educated with the promise of a job after graduation, with an understanding that while I'm taking these classes, I'm in this setting that my child is being taken care of. But we always want to always blame somebody else instead of taking partial blame for it too. And then what really would upset me was when these single moms, because of their whatever hatred, would say, well, then fathers say, well, I'm their father. You can't be a father. If you don't have a dick, you're not a father. And you did what was required and what was expected out of you. So you don't get any extra stars because you did what you was responsible. You did what you're supposed to be. You did your job. So you don't get any pats on the back. No, you did what you're supposed to do. You don't get a reward because you're not a father. You don't have a dick. So get over that. But I've seen too many. I've witnessed too many of my boys that were trying. And they were always getting bashed because of whatever. Well, I think that the time has come for it to stop. It's just time for it to stop. Because, again, it serves no purpose. It serves no purpose. So, now, this is I don't even know what to say when it comes to the Democrats and the Republicans because they're twins. Who's the lesser of the evil when it comes to the twins? I think that the Democrats need to grow some balls. They need to be more aggressive in their stance in what their wants are. They should be less compromising. I think that since 2024 is just right around the corner, because we're in June, that this is a time to flood the media market, to flood the television, to showcase exactly how corrupt the Republican Party is, what the Republican Party has not done. They don't support veterans. They don't support elderly. They don't support children. They don't support families. So what in the hell do you support? You support that 1% and corporations, the pharmaceuticals. That's who you support. You don't support the common people. So I think that this is a time for the Democrats to flood their markets, bombarding the states with those individuals that are in Congress that have not done anything, that basically are jokes. I think that Professor Cornell Wild should not even be on the ticket. He's just going to cause a division. And then you have that idiot from West Virginia who thinks that he's trying. It is so complicated. But we have a lot going on. We have a lot going on. And how we handle it, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's going to be all right. We are survivors. We are survivors. I appreciate you. Y'all be safe out there. It's Monday, start of a new week. We're going to be all right. We're going to be conquerors. We're going to be survivors. We're going to do it. We're going to do this shit. We're going to do what we can, and we're going to do the best of what we can. But I appreciate y'all for stopping in. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you are the one that brings everything to the table when it comes to you. And I know you're going to be successful because you're awesome. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. I will see you tomorrow. Y'all take care. Peace. The live stream on the show. On the show. The live stream. On the show. The live stream. The live stream on the show.